Hi everyone, I'm Jordan Liker, and this is my Module 1 introduction. About myself, I'm in my 11th year of being a science teacher. I've taught at 3 different districts, all in the state of Kansas. The first 2 districts I was at, they were kind of smaller high schools, and so I taught a variety of science courses at those schools. And then I got married and moved to Manhattan, Kansas, where I transitioned to being a middle school science teacher. And so for the past 5 years, I've been a 7th grade biology teacher in Manhattan at one of the middle schools in Manhattan. In addition to teaching, I also do some coaching, basketball, golf, cross country. I was also a play director for a couple years. Which was fun and interesting. Especially, I don't know a whole lot about plays, and so the kids taught me a lot doing that one. I'm married. I have 2 sons, Callan and Colby. Callan is 4, and Colby is about 7 weeks old now. And so my family, we love spending time together. We love the outdoors, fishing, hiking, camping. We like to travel. And so during those times off, my wife is also a teacher, and so during the times off from school, we tend to do a lot of those activities together. The reason why I'm in this course, I'm seeking a master's degree in educational administration, and first and foremost, it's for my family, to better support my family and help them. But I really believe that I can make a positive difference in the lives of students and their families, and I want to be in a position where I can share my ideas more readily, to be that positive impact that students and families sometimes need. And and really, I want to continually improve myself. So courses like this help me to improve each day, become a better version of myself. And looking at the district and my school's use of data, um, currently my district, we are in the 3rd year of implementing the MTSS structure. Currently, we use FastBridge for student testing to generate data. That includes the reading assessments, math assessments, behavior assessments, as well as progress monitoring. And the data that's generated through this testing, it helps us drive decisions on what courses students will be placed in at the middle school level. So the data from these assessments, as well as some of the individual classroom teacher input, is used to evaluate placement. Teacher input is especially used if we have a student that is kind of right on the edge of an intervention, being placed in intervention or not. And so we complete the testing 3 times a year, and so we continually have students moving in and out of interventions throughout the school year based on their needs. And through this process, we've actually seen some noticeable improvement over the last couple years. In fact, we just completed our testing this year, last week, for the beginning of this year, and the initial results were very promising, which was encouraging for the teachers because it's been a struggle at times, definitely, implementing the MTSS structure in our school. um, when using data and instructional decisions, there's always room for improvement, I think. My district has some great strengths. So we have very active professional learning communities, great collaboration among staff, both within departments and between departments. At the middle school level, we're on a team concept where teams meet almost on a daily basis and and can discuss students and interventions. Um, we use some programs in the interventions for students. For math, we use the Ascend program, and for reading, depending on the student's level, it's either System 44, Rewards, or 6-minute solutions. Um, and that data is continually reviewed at both the school and at the district level, and that can include assessment data as well as demographic data. Some of the weaknesses that I think my district has is that when we review that data, um, many questions are sometimes generated, and those questions can kind of go unanswered. I think we're kind of right now in a stage of identifying deficiencies, and we don't spend a lot of time on solutions for those deficiencies. Um, the systems that are in place are not always utilized. So some of those programs that we have for interventions for students aren't always utilized. They're not always teacher friendly, and certain teachers don't want to use those sometimes, and so they want to use their own, which are also very good and sometimes in their own right. But when we don't have the continuity, it can create some challenges sometimes. And then I think there's also a poor understanding of the processes and what data of these testing actually means when you get outside of the math and language arts departments. And so you get into other departments that we don't spend a whole lot of time with this data. We see the numbers, but we don't always really know what those numbers mean or what students are at what level. My personal knowledge and how to use data, it's improving, but I know it needs to be better. I have a good understanding of my own classroom, but like I previously said, as a science teacher, I really have a limited understanding of how to use the data that's generated in these math and language arts assessments. What those numbers mean, or what students are in need of intervention. I don't have that at my disposal. Um, I used data to drive instruction in my own class through pre and post tests. I mean, I can get a baseline as well as a summative data, and then through the course of homework or labs, I can get some generate some informal data, some formative data that I can adjust teaching to. And then I can always reteach, and I reteach and retest when I see that there are some deficiencies among students. Um, but like I said, I'm really not familiar with the interventions that students need or what students are in interventions. And so if I knew these things, I think I could help these students further succeed as well. Science is kind of that combination of language arts and math, and so we do a lot of things that they would do in both those other subject areas. And so if I was a little more familiar with their needs and how to help them, I think we could see some improvement faster even. And then I think we also need to improve, I need to improve on some types of demographic data. We have certain schools in our district are more have serve a higher low income population for sure. And so as we move and schools move to more of a digital platform a lot of times, which we're doing at our district, just the availability of resources at home, whether that's feasible for some students to do at home, or whether the district needs to provide some support for them in order to succeed, it would be great data to know and be able to utilize and plan for. So my plan for future improvement, furthering my education through classes like this, generate and utilize data, and to strive to be better. I've been watching a lot of videos about Tiffany Anderson. She's the superintendent of the Topeka Public Schools, and she indicates a lot that she loves data. They love data. It helps them drive their decisions. And so just learning to love data, I think, is a big step. Collaboration with peers to help me better understand what the data means, and as well as to help me look for ideas and can support me in the classroom to help these students, and then to take advantage of professional development opportunities that are in place, as well as volunteer to be in leadership positions where I can help advocate for these students. I think if we have people outside of just the math and language arts in these positions, we can further help these students because we can incorporate a lot of that into other subject areas. But we need those people to advocate as well. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everyone as this course goes on, and good luck throughout the semester.